How'd that sound last week?
It was good.
It was?
Yep.
I went to store and sent me that.
Got everything up now.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. WTF-DFW. Where's the fun, DFW? Welcome back. This is episode 15. Moving on to 15. Just me solo today, but again, thank you to everybody that's been commenting and liking and subscribing, sharing any of these. It's at least helped get the word out there about what's been going on at Fat Daddy's, at some of our retail locations as well, so you get to hear it directly from me. But let's see what's been going on. Last week, our conversation was about like who and what bands left a band, a successful band, and went on to, I guess, be a part of, a more successful band. Then we were joking around saying, but what about the flip side of that?
Yeah.
Like somebody that left a band that was popular and joined a band that wasn't quite so popular. And the first one that we both thought it was like Sebastian Bach with Skid Row. He apparently didn't do as well with his solo stuff. I also, then it's funny because I thought about it also, I don't know if you know, like Dave Mustaine and Megadeth.
No.
But he was a part of Metallica, and he left, I believe. Yeah, he was one of the first guitarists of Metallica and then left and created Megadeth. So that could be another one, but Megadeth got pretty big. Anywho, so that was last week's conversation. I didn't see anybody commenting. Actually, quite honestly, I didn't look. This week
there were hundreds.
It's been bad. But I did see there were 350 views or something for it on WTF-DFW Facebook page. So
yeah,
people
Facebook,
were liking it, you
Yeah.
know. Let's see what happened, what was going on over at Fat Daddy's. Last week we had live band karaoke with Shanna Cobb out on Friday. Honcho, the band, was out there Thursday. Iconic was there on Friday night. I was able to pop in there a little bit Friday night, just say hi to them. It was, again, a pretty good crowd. Then on Saturday, we had Back in Time. The Huey Lewis Band was playing out, celebrating. I think their harmonica player was like 75 years old. He just got married.
Sweet.
So they were celebrating that, and they had their little post-wedding celebration up there at Fat Daddy's. And Empires opened up for them, so I finally got to meet Bishop Booker and I guess Darren Wise, two really good guys. I've been friends with them on Facebook, but it was kind of cool. Darren, I guess, is going to be out at the International Guitar Show May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. He gave me one of his Gibson laminate. He's sponsored, I think, by Gibson as well. So,
cool. Yeah.
And then Bishop, I did get kind of the history of their band and all, but what a front man. These guys an entertainer. It was a weird pairing because you got, Empires playing hard rock, and then you had Huey Lewis headlining, but, it was an opportunity, again, to bring in an original band that I never had before. And I did forget to mention last week on our podcast that the week before we had Rock Stars of Tomorrow, Mansfield, was back out at Fat Daddy's, and again, a great crowd. I know some people that really wanted to be there missed it. They were sick and whatnot, but we had three bands playing. The Myers, which was, I believe they're like 9, 11, and 13 years old. They opened up, and then a band called Black Lotus was in the middle, and that brings me kind of to my topic this week, and I'll mention them in a little bit. And then Liar Liar was performing. But even cooler than that is I text my buddy Scotty Austin from, everybody knows him from Saving Abel. He's just played a Fat Daddy's a couple of weeks ago with the Arena Rock Show, and he had his band out. Everybody knows, and I've said it before, even prior to this weekend, how just down to earth, he's such an incredible guy. He's just so, genuine in the way he is. So I sent him a text message at 11 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, I know this is totally last minute, but I want to surprise these kids and see if you could FaceTime them, and here I am on a Sunday morning, trying to get in touch with somebody who's obviously, out on weekends playing and he's touring actively, and I'm hoping that maybe that he's even going to be awake. He texted me back like an hour or so later and said, yeah, absolutely. He'd love to do it. So I brought the 3 bands into the private party room over there at Fat Daddy's. He had a FaceTime for, 5 or 6 minutes while he was actually driving in between tour spots, and just gave him a little bit of encouragement, talked to them a little bit about his experience, and, he gave him a little bit of advice on what to look out for in the future. But I just love the fact that, A, he did that for me. B, they got a chance to, talk to, a genuine national touring act. And, when I said Saving Abel, they were stoked. Even some of the parents came in the back, and I was like, hey,
really?
This isn't about you. Get out there. This is about the kids. But it was kind of cool. So, Scotty, if you're watching this, or if anybody, talks to him at all about it, thank you again for being who you are. Absolutely love you guys. Can't wait to get out to Nashville and hang out with you and your beautiful wife this summer, and we'll see about that, going on that cruise with you in September. But can you imagine cruising to another country with guys and saying that would just blow my mind. But that was it. That was a recap of last week. This week, though, I did mention, Black Lotus, and they were playing, last Sunday, and they only had 3 of their 4 members there. Their lead guitarist wasn't able to make it. I'm not sure exactly what the backstory on that was, but they still wanted to play. And I was thinking, this is just the coolest thing. You're talking about kids that they have easy out, like, oh, we can't make it, we're missing a key part of our band. But they were like, nope, we still want to play. And then I started thinking about it, because it reminded me again about, I think next week or so. But it's, just to talk about doing what you have to do to make the show happen. Be a professional. You got kids that are figuring it out, right? And they already know, like, what? We're going to be missing a player, but I could pick up some of the lead work. We could do this, we could do that. And they still sounded really well. The other thing was, you're up on stage, you got to go with the flow, do whatever happens. The other part of it was really interesting. Their bass player, there was a song they were playing, and coming to a super important part of the song with a bass, bass players don't get a lot of attention. So even if there's a 30-second part of a song that heavily features the bass player's like, I'm ready to do it. Well, he stepped up to do it, and his guitar wasn't, the guitar plug wasn't connecting, so it was dead air. And I was like, just watching him, he's playing through it. He got through that part, he went, he unplugged, plugged back in, got it working again, and they were able to, I guess, get it running by the second part of that song where he had to do the same thing. And again, I remind myself, and I actually talked about it, I got up on stage afterwards, talked to some of the parents about what we're doing and all, and there's only one way you learn how to deal with that adversity, and that's by being up on stage and making it work and figuring it out. So then, ironically, I talked to my buddy Lee in Frequency. I said, hey, I got a show coming up with the Maroon 5 band, and, a week or two, you guys want to open up for them, have Frequency opening up. And he's like, let me talk to the guys. And he said, well, our singer's not going to be in town, but our drummer can sing also. So I'm like, he's like, as long as you're okay with that. I'm like, yeah, I absolutely would. So again, Lee recognizes, like, hey, there's an opportunity to be able to get on the stage, play at Fat Daddy's. The money, I guarantee you, it's not really the money thing with Lee either. It's just about, I have an opportunity to be on stage with my band. I'm going to do whatever I can to make it work. And then after I confirmed it with him and said, nope, you're good to go. Then he called me back and he said, hey, I got, Shannon, they're singing from Metal Shop and Rockaholics and does our karaoke. He's actually going to be singing for them that night too. So that's badass, but it just reminds me of, you do what you have to do to be able to get your band up on that stage, to keep your band up there, or how you deal with, adversity and all. So I laugh because I saw the kids in Black Lotus deal with adversity in two different things. And I mean, when you're a 14, 15-year-old and you're up on stage and you're playing and you're not getting any sound like that, you have a clear, like, when I was that age playing, I would have panicked.
Yeah.
I would have just panicked, started sweating, like out of every pore.
Yeah.
But these kids, it was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I had to do. You didn't see, like, frustration in their face. You didn't see concern, like, or what do I do? They just stuck to the basics. My sound guy did what he had to do, and he got them, you know, up and playing again. So do what you have to do. You know, you get that opportunity, make it happen. And some people know the worst thing you could do is back out of a show, especially with me, you know, like, and I'm not saying it like, if you're booked to play a show, you know, and it's anything beyond death, you know, or, you know, we've had people that have surgeries or whatever that, you know, near death or had to get stuff done. I understand that. But, you know, if you're pulling out of a show a week or two beforehand after, you know, like you don't get an opportunity to play, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to be playing again. Like, we're at that point now, and knock on wood, we've been lucky enough to be able to build a reputation where people want to play. So if I have a spot opening, I probably have a list of 2 dozen bands that I can reach out to that would jump at the opportunity to be able to do it. But kudos to the kids again in Black Lotus for just showing us, showing us the way almost, and, making things happen, making sure you're doing what you have to do, dealing with the adversity that you can deal with on a stage. And then, again, it just brought me right into Lee and my buddies out there playing a frequency. So if anybody, I'd be on the lookout for that there. It'll be opening up for that Animal band, the Maroon 5 band. This will be, I think, the second time. Guto, my boy Guto Gibson, is now playing guitar with them. So if you don't think Lee is already beautiful enough, and, everybody loves Shannon, come on out and check out Guto. By the way, happy birthday again. We went out to Bedford Ice House on Saturday to go see Metal Shop, and Guto was guest playing on guitar a little bit. Actually, so was Lee playing on bass, but we got to celebrate his birthday out there. I'm telling you, he's just, he's a beautiful dude, and he's so humble, and I think he's only like 23 years old or something like that. It's frustrating as hell, but and what an incredible guitarist, too. So happy birthday again, Guto. This week, what we got going on at Fat Daddy's, we got live band karaoke tonight with Shannon Cobb. Major Keys is playing. That's I guess you could say, tribute toward all, piano, keyboard music. So think in terms of like Elton John and Queen and Billy Joel, stuff of that nature. Anything that's heavily keyboard or piano based. So Major Keys, keys, piano keys, get it? Playing word. And then Friday night is Back in Black. And right away, we're just shaking our head like, here we go. And I'll explain why we're like, here we go, because this week is going to be a make or break with the new system we have out there. But Back in Black is playing on Friday night with Ever the Essence. We may not have too many tables left, so if you get an opportunity, call, get yourself a table reserved. But these shows are absolutely incredible. Every time Back in Black, we are so honored to be able to have them playing the stage at Fat Daddy's, because every time I see them playing somewhere, they're playing festivals, and we're talking about thousands and thousands of people going and watching them, and you get the opportunity to see them locally. And I love Mike and Darren and them, because they keep saying, every year, they're going to keep coming back to Fat Daddy's, because we've had such a long-term relationship with them. When we take care of them, they've always taken care of us, and they bring it every show. So come on out Friday night to Back in Black with Ever the Essence, and that's Christy Johnson's Evanescence tribute that she's got. And then Saturday night, country music, Keith Mitchell Band. I say it all the time. He's the house band over at Billy Bob's, one of them. So he's going to be playing on Saturday night out there. I might try to bring in a little bit of a guest performer. I'm going to try to reach out to them in a little bit to say, make it a little bit easier, but give them an opportunity to play a younger band to be able to play, even if it's a half hour, 45 minutes or so. Then next week we got live band karaoke. On Wednesday again, Texas Whiskey and You, the Chris Stapleton tribute. Velcro Pygmies with Love is War. And that's Max, the bass player, him and his wife will be doing kind of an acoustic rock thing to open up the show. But Velcro Pygmies, if you've been out there for Velcro Pygmies, you know. If you haven't been out there to a Velcro Pygmy show, my lord. And that's all I can say. Like, there is nothing like a Velcro Pygmy show. And then that next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday will be Animals, the Maroon 5 tribute, and we're going to have Frequency open up for them. So we got some pretty big dates coming up. I believe also that week, we have Velcro Pygmies on Friday. We have Animals with Frequency on Saturday. And then Sunday, we do an all-ages show with the Velcro Pygmies. So that Sunday, you have an opportunity if you have young kids, or, teenagers that you want to have them come out and check it out. Look at our calendar. I believe we start that at like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's all ages, no cover charge. You get to see a dynamic, 80s, I guess, tribute, over-the-top band do their thing on Sunday for a bonus show. They do this once a year because they're really big, into CAM and them, into supporting teachers and students and the school districts, but they're trying to do what they can to encourage, music in the school districts as well. So come on out, bring your family out for a great fun day, and I promise it is a clean show that they do on Sundays for the kids. They do treat it as a family show. Not so much their, Friday and Saturday nights, but their weekend shows that they do on Sundays are awesome. So Wednesday nights, remember at Fat Daddy's, we have Wednesdays all day is Syndustry night, or Syndustry days, I guess you could say. And then on Friday and Saturday night from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m., it's, special discounts, and we stay open late just for you people that are out there in the service industry. So come on out for discounted food, some drink specials and all just for you. If you don't have a Syndustry card, come on out and see one of my management team. They do have one. I know they were out at a couple locations this week, local at Mansfield, handing out some cards. I talked earlier about, good Lord, this coming weekend we have our work cut out for us. We just finished that system upgrade over at Fat Daddy's, and the girls will be using tablets. Our workflow is going to change a little bit, just so you know. Obviously, you're coming into place. We have to scan you to our system with your ID. First and foremost, to explain to everybody why we are a private club. So everybody that comes into our location has to become a member. Now, we don't charge for that membership. All what we do is we swipe your ID and it adds you to our member list. That's probably the most important thing. So if somebody in Fat Daddy's is asking you for your ID, don't get frustrated, and I know some people like, well, I've been coming in here for 30 years. First of all, we're open for 15 years. But at the same point, there's a pretty good chance if you haven't been, had your ID swiped yet, maybe it's time that we check to make sure. We just went through a system upgrade, so we want to confirm that everybody's back into our database through the WeScan system. But then the other thing, if you are at a table, they're going to get your card, a debit card or a credit card to open up a tab. That basically just reserves your tab. The rest of the stuff they'll do is on a tablet. So at the end of your, visit, when they come back to you, they're going to ask you for that card again or what card you want to use to be able to make that payment. So the first one just ensures that you're not walking a tab. And the second one is actually to process your payment. Unfortunately, the tablet system we have, there was a deficiency in the programming that won't be fixed for a couple of weeks or months. So we're trying to kind of work through that. But the idea is the girls and, the girls, our staff is going to be spending more time at the tables, ensuring that you're getting your orders in and they're entering everything into a tablet for you at the table. At the end of when you get your check, you're going to be able to pay it out right there on the tablet itself, and you could email yourself a receipt, text yourself a receipt, or we could print you out one. So I know you've seen that in other locations. We're finally getting into the 2000s at Fat Daddy. So The new NCR system is out there. Please bear with us as we're working through the bugs. But we've already seen improvement in response time with drinks and food, so that is a promise. And like I said, we're always trying to make the experience a little bit better for everybody that comes in. Thompson's Bookstore, downtown Fort Worth, 900 Houston Street. Make sure you're coming in to book your events, or just come on in, smoke a cigar, have a good date night with your wife, partner, spouse, whatever. Just come on out. It's a great environment. It's not a club environment where there's thumping music everywhere. The background music is just that, it's in the background, but you can come on in, have conversations, and some incredible drinks. We just had our new spring menu has been released last week, so we have new drinks on the menu if you haven't been out there for a while. And obviously our humidor is packed with 60 or 70 incredible brand cigars that I'm sure we have something that everybody would enjoy. So it's always a phenomenal time out there. But don't forget, book your private event out there as well. Marksman Firearms. Remember, Thompson Cigar Lounge now sells cigars in every one of our gun stores. So we have a humidor up front with 10 or 15 different brand cigars. The most popular ones we actually sell out of Thompson. So price the same. You're not going to find a different price if you go to a Tobacco Lane or your local cigar shop. So while you're picking up some ammo, grab a couple of sticks. So if you want to go out to a range or whatever, or just come in, buy some sticks, and while you're there, pick up some ammo. Maybe buy yourself a new gun. But Thompson Cigar Lounge is selling cigars out of all 4 of our Marksman locations. You got 1 week left for the Gun of the Month deal. Colleen, we got that Winchester SXP. It's a Marine Defender shotgun in either a 12 or a 20 gauge. Again, that's a home defense shotgun for only $309, so you can't go wrong with that. That's a badass gun. Granbury's got an HK VP9. It's actually got a red dot on it as well for a little bit over $1,000, but that's, a $1,500 guitar, $1,500 gun that we have out there. Wichita Falls, we got a Chris Vector 45 ACP rifle for $14.99. Again, that's the cost of that. You're not going to be able to find it again this year for only $14.99. And then Mansfield's got an Anderson Patriot Pro 5.56 rifle for only $425. So again, we have these deals we're doing once a month. Every location is going to have a different gun for you. And if you see something that on our Facebook page at marksmanfirearms.com, scroll down to be able to see the gun of the month. If we don't have it in the location you want it, we could transfer it without an issue. I'm constantly driving between our gun stores when I'm doing their audits and all, but I could bring one back to your nearest location for you. So you can't tell, or you won't know unless you go to the webpage and look for it. So visit one of our gun stores soon and get your stuff. Don't forget the other thing, we're still waiting on the Capone's Drink Easy and Sports Bar, the permit to be approved. Again, we're just chomping at the bit to be able to get that thing going up. We tore down the old building, but once construction starts on that, it's a brand new build, so it shouldn't take too long at all. So that's it for this week on WTF-DFW. Right, I mentioned Rock Stars at Amar Mansfield. If you are watching this and you want to pick up a side gig or something, Rock Stars at Amar Mansfield, Arnie Newsom is the owner of that one, and he's got positions open for guitar teachers, voice coaches, piano lessons, bass lessons. If you're a teacher, instructor, get in touch with them. Also, if you're, like production and sound engineering, they're going to look for instructors for that as well. So remember, they're a full service, guitar shop or music shop that they, have, 200, 300, 400 students in there for various lessons, but people can go in there for lessons on production as well, vocal, drums, anything. So if you want to reach out to me. I can get you in touch with Arnie, but he is looking for a couple of new instructors out there. So tag somebody that teaches or is looking for another side gig, whatever, to be able to give lessons to some of these kids as they're up and coming. So that's it for this week. Thank you for paying attention. We'll see you at a Fat Daddy's. We'll see you, somewhere, out there in the DFW area. But other than that, peace.